Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Dairoku. Just continuing Hira's route, and we just started his route. Well, I mean, obviously we've been in the common route doing his route, but we started his actual route chapter. I think in the last part. So anyway, we should still be in chapter 4, I think. So anyway, I believe this is Hira's perspective now because it's got the black border on it. Oh, yeah, because I'm sleeping. Shh. She's sleeping. Actually, Takao mentioned that she's been working hard preparing for this event. Oh, what a weird girl. And when it comes to work for Ayakashi, she just does whatever she feels without much thought. My fake snoring is god awful. I'm sorry. What am I supposed to do with her? Ooh, why is there a bouncy ball? What's the bouncy ball? And then it rolls away. Interesting. Ah, chapter 4, Embraced. Huh? What was I? I opened my eyes, greeted by a familiar shirt. Startled, I glanced at Hira, who was fast asleep. On top of that, as I regained consciousness, I realized that Hira's arm was wrapped tightly around my body in embrace. Hira, wake up, please! Okay, why is there no CG of that? I tapped him over and over, desperate that he opened his eyes as quickly as possible, and Hira suddenly awoke. Quiet. I'm sorry, but please let me go! I assume my urgency got through to him, but although he looked agitated, he relaxed his arm and rolled to his other side. Just like that, he dozed off again and started shifting in his sleep. What? Hira? He's not even going to explain. Normally, the way he ignored me didn't bother me too much, but this was a lot to take in. Oh, I must have fallen asleep while doing the tallies, right? So, but still, why did you... Quiet. Sorry. After being snapped at twice, I started to come to my senses again. Let's calm down. It seems like Hira didn't put too much meaning into holding me. There have been lots of similar incidents before, yet he never seemed to think much of it. You were asleep, so I just didn't want you to get cold. It'd be a pain if you got sick and died here. I don't think I would have died, but I definitely want to avoid getting sick right now, so thank you for looking out for me. I wished he would have helped me by covering with a blanket like I did him, but I was in no place to make demands. I thanked him, prompting Hira to nod at me, suggesting nothing at all before closing his eyes. Still, I'm surprised you feel safe enough to fall asleep. Not my problem if you get eaten. What? I quickly glanced over my shoulder for anything out of order or any trace of funny business. Know how some who devour humans aren't just oni. Oh. Okay, I get what he's saying. Okay. Know how some who devour humans aren't just oni? There are tales of Tengu abducting people too. You know how there are other Ayakashi who eat people that aren't oni. Okay, that's, yeah, it just read weird. I don't know. Oh, that's what he means. His whole route has been like very awkward in its writing. I don't feel like we had that problem with Shiratsky. I feel like it's just in his translation. It's just weird sometimes. Anyway. What was I so flustered about? Hira just reassured me that nothing happened. I fell asleep on my own. Now I'm all flustered. How embarrassing. My cheeks got hot and my head slumped downward, although I was sure Hira cared little about how I came off to him. Hey, you're awake. Oh. There was Takao coming into the room. I let Sammy know what you were doing. He asked me to tell you to come back when you woke up. I see. Sorry to have you go through the trouble. I gathered the scribbled notes from the Ayakashi and straightened my clothes in a hurry. Oh, that's right. Hira, thank you for teaching me about Woshite writing. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll be heading back then. I'll come by again soon. I can't stand being looked at anymore. Somehow maintaining a calm appearance, I hurried out of Amawa Mansion. Giving thanks. Okay, that should do it for the tally of our first collection of suggestions. There was an incident where I fell asleep on duty, but because Hira made me a translation key, I was able to bring everything back to finish my tally. I should go back and thank him again. I did cause some trouble for him after all. It was embarrassing even thinking about it now. My own carelessness caused a whole ruckus, and I misinterpreted what Hira misinterpreted. Wow. Yeah, that's not okay. I misinterpreted what Hira said to me. Why did I come up with misinterpreted? God. I'll try heading over to Tamamo's. To Tamamo is just why I don't know. Okay, I can't with apparently words today. I'll try heading over to Tamamo's store after work today. Something Hira would like, huh? Yes, what exactly do you have in mind? Hold on, what was that? Oh, that reminded me to put out my trash. I'm gonna do that for anyway. But of course, some materials to make an uchiwa. Uchiwa? Anyway, I thought as much. He mentioned it previously, and honestly, it was the only inkling I had for anything Hira could be remotely interested in. But I hear Takao asked you not to supply anything like that for a while, in an effort to get Hira out more, correct? And that's exactly right, Spacey. But I must say, he can only fool Hira for so long. Besides, I've started to become a touch tired of saying that my store doesn't have a good supply, or that I'm late in getting restocked. So then I'll have a word with Takao. And so you'd just like me to get some materials to make an uchiwa, right? Yes, thank you, Tamamo. Well, it'll take some time. If a Tengu will use them, they have to be things that can withstand a bit of spiritual power running through them. I'll have to use a special supply line, although I'm sure they'll come through, so rest assured that all you have to do is wait for it. As she spoke, Tamamo gave a more charming smile than usual. I guess it's not something you can get so easily. Still, if Tamamo says so, it's good enough. Alright, thank you then. I'll come back again sometime soon. Alright, I'll be waiting. I exited the store and sighed in relief. I hope this will be enough to thank Hira. I'm lucky there was something there for him. If this uchiwa didn't work out, I would have had to do with just giving him sake, but I did want to avoid that if possible. Strange though. I wouldn't feel this way about giving sake if it were any other Ayakashi. Or wait, giving sake if it were with other Ayakashi. Okay. I guess, compared to Akuro, Hajun, or Shonatsuki, it just looks like he enjoys his time when he's drinking. Or I'm just invading his space. Tamamo's grin. It's been a while, Itsuya. Oh! I've got nothing to offer myself, but I do have a request. You'll hear me out, won't you? Interesting. She's calling the chief. Exchange conditions, chapter 4. A few days after my visit to Tamamo's store. Oh wow, there are so many this time too. It had been several times now that I'd come to Amawa Mansion to fetch the suggestion forms. And no response from Hira, of course. A few days ago, we discussed all kinds of things, like Woshite, his life when he lived in the human world, and more, and it was so fun with him. Well, he is attentive, though, and he asked me genuinely if I could understand any of the writing. Recently, I've come to understand when Hira slept, or when he pretended to sleep, he was actually just observing me quietly. Maybe he'll talk to me again if I pretend like I understand. No, it'd be foolish to think that lying could endear me to him. As usual, Takao permitted me to tally the suggestions at Amawa Mansion, so I was reading through the new ones that had been collected. This isn't Woshite, but hiragana. Hira, please spread your wings, was written in uneasy handwriting on the paper. As in, this Hira? Hira, could you please take a look at this? Hira stayed silent, pursing his lips in agitation. Yet he actually got up and looked over the sheet I brought toward him. Oh, this. It's from a kid. A kid? They think it's a wish box or something, so they put stuff in there thinking it'll come true. Is that so? Feeling dubious, I flipped through the Sure enough, it's the same sort of letters and symbols. You're right. If you realize this already, you could have let making a mistake. No, it's a pain to have to talk to them. You could talk to kids. It's a pain to talk to children. I get this. Hira, I get you. You, me, same. You don't have to dislike them so much. Those children fun you know. Doesn't mean I have to like them back. Fond of me? No way. You see an opening to rip out my feathers. Rip out your... Yeah. Crow tend some verbal encounters. And that's why I like this form now. That must be pretty rough, huh? But that's true. Neither you nor Takao keep your wings out. They just get in the way trying to walk around. And we don't need them other than for flying. It might be okay outside, but I do see how they could be in the way in a room, or when you're out and about. Although, it was cute imagining the children playing with his wings while he slept, or him knocking things down while meandering about. It's no laughing matter. Ow! As I was trying to hold back my laughter, Hira gave me a slight shove with a slightly annoyed look on his face. Wow, getting bitchy here. Ow. I guess even this much force hurts humans. Oh, sorry, it didn't actually really hurt much. I just said that out of reflex. The heck does that mean? You're so weird. Sorry. By the way, Hira... It's fine. Huh? You're talking to me so stiffly. Just relax. Okay, got it. Anyway, Hira? Yeah? Don't call me if you don't need anything. It's not that I don't. You're the one who cut me off, remember? Huh. This feels like we're actually kind of close. I can talk with Hira, and not only that, we're laughing with each other. And he even told me I could be more relaxed with him. Oh, he's actually smirking at us. Wow, shocker. But maybe it's not that big a deal to ask a human to talk to them more normally. Maybe he was tired of me being so stiff. What? You can start anytime you like. Seems like my face amuses you. That's not what it is, really. Although, he might be kind of amusing. Hira's silence was no ordinary silence. So many feelings are conveyed through it. The closer we got, the more I understood him. Oh, Spacey, you're here again today, huh? Takao! Oh, I was just about to talk to Hira about the Uchiwa. I couldn't find the right time, so it had to be today. That said, I couldn't bring it up now in front of Takao. I'll have to apologize later. About the suggestion boxes, we got a request to install more of them in Amatsuna. I went ahead and set some up where I saw fit, and I put up more of those flyers you made. Is that okay with you? Huh? You did all that? Thank you so much, Takao. It's no big deal. About 2 days have passed since they were set up, so do you mind taking a look at what's in them? Yeah, of course. Really, thank you so much. Excuse me, Hira, would you like to come along? Keeping silent, Hira rolled right over and turned his back toward me. Hira? I'm going to take an afternoon nap. The hell do you mean an afternoon nap? You don't even know what an afternoon looks like! Takao's face doesn't belay that he's screaming like this, but I just like getting violently angry at him. It's just fun. Still lying down, he rolled over and over, inching his way closer toward his own room. He doesn't even get up, he just rolls. Such a little loaf. It was such a good atmosphere just now. It'd be a waste to just let this end. I doubted that I could talk to him casually again the next time we met like I had today. He could easily be the old, silent Hira again. If possible, I wanted to at least give Takao a heads up in advance, but I have no choice now. Oh, Hira, what's this? I had the Uchiwa materials in my bag, which I just picked up from Tamamo's store. I let a few of the large, beautiful feathers peek out. She's like, oh, Hira, what's this? It's like you do to a fucking dog or an animal, like, oh, what's this? I got you treats. While still mid-roll, Hira's dull eyes looked in my direction, then widened in an instant. Where did you get these? I put in a special order for them. I'm not lying, right? I wanted to give these to you as thanks for helping me the other day, but what do you think? The other day? Yeah, the other day. Remember? You taught her about Woshite and looked after her so she wouldn't catch a cold. Oh. He forgot? I was a bit saddened, feeling like I didn't matter to him, but I couldn't let Takao's support for me go to waste. But if you're gonna go to sleep, I guess I'll have to give them to you another time. Why? You want to thank me, so give them to me right now. Like you can talk after blatantly forgetting that you helped her at all. Good point. I couldn't tell if Hiro was absent-minded or sharp. Absent-mindedly sharp. You can't have them unless you go with her. That's how this is gonna work. Why? Just because! So what do you want to do? Fine. I'll go with you. Yes! I victoriously made a fist and Takao threw me a relieved smile. I wonder if Takao heard from Tamamo about what's going on. I love Takao. I just love him so much. I love him more than Hira. Like, Hira's a good character, don't get me wrong. I enjoy him. But, like, Takao is just so fucking pretty. And you're just like, and he's just like, so, I just... Why do I love the side characters? Like, we can't date the chief. Come on. I can't date Jun Fukuyama. That's just disappointing. Right there, okay? Like, doesn't matter what character he voices. I love them. Okay. I can't date Takao. I do love him. Like, personally, between Takao and Hira, I think Takao is cuter. He appeals to me more. I don't dislike Hira, though. His character's fun, so. But, you know, man, I need to date the side characters. Anyway. I was relieved he understood, even though I couldn't check with him beforehand. And come on, let's go. And so, Hira and I left Amawa Mansion, practically thrown out by Takao. Chapter 5, Guest from the Real World. Today was fun. After gathering the contents of all the suggestion boxes with Hira, I returned to the office. At first, he seemed annoyed that he came along, but soon his mood lightened as the excitement of finding more Uchiwa materials out there ignited. Hey, Spacey, have the tallies done yet? Oh, that's him still. You seem happy, don't you? I succeeded in getting the shut-in to leave the house. I wonder if that's how people talk about me. And I did finish them. We've got a Ningyo dance battle, Kappa water gun duels, and a transformation contest between the Tanuki and the Kitsune. It seems like events where people are going to be able to show off their rich and diverse talents are popular suggestions. Huh. Well, that's pretty good. Maybe it was better to ask the Ayakashi instead of struggling through human interpretation. Alright then. So it's a competition theme. In fact, even in Makatsui there's overwhelming support for drinking and gaming competitions. And Yakumo said there were a lot of votes for a fashion show or contest. That'd be perfect for a competition's theme. As more and more ideas for the event came up while talking with Seimi, the phone to the office began to ring. It looks like this is Itsuya. Hello? The fuck do you want? Just kidding. Seimi picks up the phone right away, and after a few short answers, hangs up. No, I don't think so. No. Atsuya has something to discuss with us. Is Tadashi still making his rounds? Yes, but he should be back right around now. I'll send him a message to come to the chief's office. Thanks. I wonder what Chief Tokiwa has to discuss with us. I'd never been called to the office like this, so with a bit of trepidation, I go to the office with Seimi. I see. So you were able to decide on what to do for the event? Yes. There have been no major issues so far. The other groups have been helping us and... helping us, I think, as well. It's been easy to work with Seimi and Yakumo, who are in charge of Kikutsune and Makatsui. I see. And the one in charge of Amatsuna is Spacey, right? Oh, yes. Sorry, excuse me. I'm sorry to make everyone wait. As Seimi, Chief Tokiwa, and I talked, Yakumo came rushing in on return from his rounds. Sorry to rush you, Tadashi, but this is urgent. Hold on. Were you just in the middle of explaining things? I'm sorry. He's like, anyway. Yeah, I suppose you could say that. So, what I had to talk about was the event. I was gonna tell the others later, but I'd hoped everyone could take an inspector around. An inspector? Yeah, do you remember? A while ago when we interrupted a meeting you were all having. Oh. This guy. I see. So even the Ayakashimori have meetings like this. I'm so funny. Well, I'm sure you do need a sit-down once in a while, what with having to deal with all that Ayakashi wrangling. Sometimes my stupid voices amuse even me. Anyway. What? Is that person coming here again? There was an uncharacteristic bit of disdain in Yakumo's voice. It would have been better if it was admin manager Kaneda. I'm being told he wants a family member to be inspector in Sakuratani. His son actually wants to be an artist, so it seems like for him to be able to see a real Ningyo or some such. Oh, so it seems he'd like for him to be able to see a real Ningyo or some such. Okay. Huh? His son? However high of a bureaucrat he may be, revealing the existence of Sakuratani to a family member has to be a violation. Well now, that's a pretty wild request they're asking of you, Itsuya. Tell me about it. It'd be a pretty big deal if I were to report this to someone. But, seeing as you're not reporting it, and you're talking directly to us, is there a reason you can't refuse? Yeah, pretty much. But it's not so much I'm expecting to gain something from it, but more about having leverage on him. The way his face looked in the other thing was just so pretty. Just kind of, like, pensively looking. I should have said something before when his face was up, and then I clicked and it was gone, but... He's the one who suggested Sakuratani be dismantled. It's not a bad idea to keep hold of something that could weaken his position. That's the idea, at least. I'm also asking for a bit of a bonus during the budget meetings, so it should come around back to the Ayakashi as well. Wow, this is all pretty serious, huh? But if we're talking about having him see Ningyo, does that mean she'll be the one to look after him? Yeah, he'll be visiting Amatsuna after all. You have a lot on your plate, including our first event. Sorry to add something to the pile. Are you, though? Because I don't think you are. What the fuck? Though on that day, I'll be supervising his son on top of Seimi's group looking over him. We're not in the clear just yet, but don't worry too much. I don't mind handling things if they go belly up, but I'm sure we'll be fine with you around. You compliment me too much as usual, Seimi. Okay, now kiss. Just like, wait, are you guys like secretly dating on the side? Wait. When I'm dating Seimi, do I get the chief too? Is that a bonus? I like this. I like this game. We get bonuses. What did we get in Shiratsuki's route? Oh, we got Coco. Right. Oh, I forgot about precious Coco. Our precious soft little Coco. He looks all dark and moody, but he's just a fucking little cinnamon roll, isn't he? Did we get Tamamo and Kinka too, technically? So that's nice. And then when we go down Seimi's route, we get the chief. We don't get Kinka. Yakumo gets Kinka. I'm gonna, like, those two. Yakumo deserves to be happy. Unless he backstabs me at some point. But I'm thinking Samey's gonna be the one that backstab me at some point because he has got his eyes closed, so. Fool me once. I didn't see that coming because I didn't know the trope. Fool me twice. Shit, what the hell? You can't do it a third time, game. I'll trust you. I'm just saying, so. Anyway.
Oh, please. Keep going like that and I'll think you're mocking me, you know.
Samey seems to be enjoying himself. Yeah, their bromance is adorable. He's up to something no good, but it's not like we're in an era where people hunt down Ningyo for their bodies anymore, so I'm sure it'll be fine. I feel like this is women, but it is not fine. A Ningyo's body is said to be used for an elixir for immortality. I learned about Ningyo during my training, but that specifically didn't come up. I wondered how true the statement was.
Oh, it's not true, you know. You can't become immortal by distilling essences from Ningyo.
Huh? Samey's been able to read me for a while now. He's like, he's got to be psychic. Yeah, Samey's right. Although there's a possibility that a human can mutate into an Ayakashi by eating the meat of one. Mutate? No, girl, you're hung up on the wrong word. Girl, wait, what? Okay. There's a possibility a human can mutate into an Ayakashi by eating the meat of one. Mutate. No, the eating this is not like I'm in the wilderness, I'm going to starve to death. You're gonna eat an ant, like a squirrel or some shit, where you're like, I don't want to eat a squirrel, or like whatever. And I get that kitsune are like fox spirits, but like most of them look kind of human. So like, you're like, I want to be an Ayakashi, getting my fork and knife ready to eat Shiratsuki. Like, what are you gonna do? Throw them on? Like, stop! What? You're hung up on mutate. You're like, okay, yeah, no. I want you to get to the eating part, because that's the fucked up part. It's what happens to humans who become Ayakashi. Hajun was originally a human, remember? He mutated and became an Oni. Did he eat an Oni, though? Oh, I see. Do you? Because I'm confused now. He became one, but is it because he ate someone? Because that's some fucked up shit. I've heard this before at some point, too. Mutating from eating... Oh, that's samey.
Mutating from eating Ayakashi flesh and a human turning into a demon are a bit different, though.
Yep, you don't just mutate from inner conflict, like a grudge. It's more like an infection.
Yeah, you'd be lucky if you're transformed after eating one,
because otherwise, you die. And even if you did become one, you wouldn't necessarily take the form you had in mind.
People who want immortality usually have this image of eternal youth and vigor. Beauty that lasts forever, no?
Yeah, that's why we like vampire stories, right? Because you're like, vampires are sexy! You're like, I'm gonna turn into a vampire and just be sexy! And you're like, what if you turned into a vampire and you're like fucking a gremlin? Like, you know? I mean, you'd be like, shit, this sucks.
If someone like that would go to the lengths of eating Ningyo flesh without having one of those wishes come true, I couldn't help but pity them.
I feel like this is gonna come up. Like, it might not be necessary, but just in case, I thought to discuss this with the admin's son, whom I was entrusted to escort. Just to be sure he changes his mind if he's plotting to do something he shouldn't. Oh, and, about this, is it alright to mention this to Hira and the Ningyo? I wouldn't want the uninvited guests to startle them. Yes, thanks. That'd be a big help. That's a relief. The next day, I made rounds to update everyone. I think it was like more like a note. Okay, message to Amatsuda, Chapter 5. So that just about covers it. Chief Tokio and I will be on strict lookout to ensure there's no danger, so... Sure, fine. Huh? I was completely sure he'd refuse or show some dissent to the idea. But Hiro's reply came out so cleanly. There's going to be some kind of... I mean, obviously, because this is the only time they're mentioning this guy's son, so it's going to be like, he's here for Hira. Him. I want him. He's beautiful. Ah! Excuse me, you're not taking my boyfriend. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I kind of like Takao a little bit better, but, like, you still can't have Hira. Is that alright? Are you nervous about it at all? not so much nervous as I am annoyed, but it's not like I have the authority to refuse. If there's no bother, then there's no sweat off my back. With that, Hira returned to bed and rested on his side. Hira, I told you not to call me if you don't need anything. Well, I do. You're not angry, are you? I don't get angry. He's got a point. If you're done, then leave. If you say I'll be watching out, that's enough. Okay. If I'll be watching out, that's enough. He may have just wanted to get rid of me, but just thinking about how Hira's trust in me was growing slightly, I smiled to myself. After reporting to Hira, next I headed over to the Ningyo settlements. So he said he really wanted to get a chance to see you all.
That sounds lovely, though. A male artist. It's pretty. Romantic, huh? Although we won't do it for nothing.
As the Ningyo giggled amongst each other, they glanced at me from across the stream. Are Ningyo, like, pretty girl spirit, like, freaking, like, sirens or some shit? Because, like, they all have weird voices, and I didn't realize, like, oh, I should have voices like this. Oh, a male artist. Oh. I don't know what a Ningyo is. It would help if they had, like, a little, like, sometimes they pop up, like, the little sketch things or, like, whatever, if they had kind of, like, something like that. Like a sketch of one, a pencil sketch, anything, so that we kind of know what they look like. Anyway. Of course, we'll provide compensation. Just between us, the budget may increase, so how about some new real-world accessories? Okay, so maybe Ningyo or ladies. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, that would be nice. Sure, I've wanted a new necklace for a while. All right, then. I'll bring a catalog next time I'm here. I mean, a man art. They're like, oh, a male artist. So, I mean, I'm just assuming he wants to see some, like, sexy Ayakashi ladies. Have you met Kinka? Tamamo? Also, there's a chance the inspector may want to speak with you, too, but do you think that would be a problem? That's fine. I think it's better than just being stared at all over. You see, that's how these Ningyo feel about their past interactions with humans. They may not want to speak with him when they finally meet him, but I'm glad I was able to check in with them first. I'll bring a lot of catalogs then. Yes, I can't wait. Since we have this chance, let's ask for something super expensive. I hope it'll be within the budget. As I heard their delighted voices behind me, I walked off to head back to Amatsuna. Or they could just be like little, like, troll things and they just like sparkly things. I don't really know, but, like, they just paint this picture like they might be, like, ladies. You know what I mean? Like, lady spirits. Like, oh, a male artist wants to stare at us because we're beautiful. Like, Hey, you. Huh? I spun my head around to see Hira, who had just arrived on the scene. Hira, is something the matter? Two things caught me by surprise. One, he was outside. And two, he looked red in the cheeks. The suddenness and shock worried me. What do you mean? It's about that inspector. The inspector? But just now you told me to do whatever I wanted. I heard from Takao, who heard from the Ningyo. You should have told me the Ningyo would be watched. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to explain it to you, but you told me it was fine, so I thought it was okay. It's not like I'm mad or anything, but the Ningyo are in danger. In danger? Humans will come after the Ningyo. I'm a Shirei. I can't just let this happen. Oh, I see. I understand what had Hira so unusually tense. I completely understand your concerns. Even I was a bit worried of that possibility. But we've already told the inspector that no harm can come to the Ningyo, and we're keeping heavy surveillance on the inspector so he won't wander. He won't drag any Ningyo off into the outside world. Not if we can help it. Huh? I don't think that's possible. He can't go back to the real world without a Misumaru, so it'd be tricky for him to leave Sakuratani. I see. That's true. Hearing my answer, Hira slumped his head. The silence continued, but instead of seeming annoyed, it occurred to me he was deep in thought. I'm sorry to cause you worry. All I can tell you is that I'll protect them, but do you still not like the idea? If Hira remains unconvinced, my only option might be to discuss this with Chief Tokiwa. Although I was skeptical, I knew I couldn't just force it on Hira as the Shire while he still had his doubts. All right. Huh? All right. I'll leave it to you. But just don't let your guard down that day. Hira, thank you so much. I'll be sure to meet your expectations. Yeah. Oh, but you're weak, aren't you? He hit me where it hurt. Well, who knows? I do think I've improved a bit. I did go through some of your training, and Chief Tokiwa will be there too. Plus, I mean, that dude has no magic, so, like, my shit magic is better than no magic, right? Still, you're the one who'll be standing right there front and center. It's dangerous. Do you want to come to protect me? No! I finally got his consent, but suddenly it seemed like he was changing his mind, pressed with doubt over whether or not I could hold my own. I do think everything will be fine since Chief Tokiwa will be there. But his reaction made me feel like he saw me as nothing more than a lousy conjurer. Again, a lousy conjurer is better than a no conjurer. I'm just saying. I have to change the subject. Oh, yeah. Hira, you usually don't seem like it, but as their Shire, you really do care a lot about the other Ayakashi, don't you? I smiled and tried to change the subject, as Hira's face turned visibly sour. No, Takao's just annoying about it. Really? It doesn't seem that way to me, though. Even if you don't, that's how it is. I guess that's how he really does feel. Even though just now Hira seemed like he was so earnestly worried about the Ningyo and wasn't concerned about Takao at all. More importantly, why did you go and talk to the Ningyo? Huh? You got my approval, so you could have brought that inspector in. Now Takao's asked me to check things because you kept sticking your nose everywhere. If I didn't tell the Ningyo ahead of time, it would be even more dangerous, you know? Plus, also, they're going to get stared at, so maybe they should know they're going to get stared at. You know what I mean? Like, you're just doing your shit, and someone's like, what are you doing? Oh, somebody else, we got approval from Tom over in HR to stare at you all day. Did Tom ask me? Fuck that shit. I'm not an animal in a zoo. Like, the Ningyo are, well, not people. They're beings. They're beings with thoughts and feelings, too, okay? They're not fucking, like... I was gonna say circus animals, but zoo animals. They're not zoo animals. This isn't like, okay, come on, guys. Come see Hira. Look at him sleeping. We're not taking fucking tours. Like, what the fuck? Anyway. That may be true, but thanks to you, now I have to go through all this trouble. I held in laughter. Not only was Hira consumed with worry about the Ningyo, he was frustrated by having to leave the house to carry out his duties, which amused me. I didn't want them to be surprised. I worried they wouldn't want to talk to him. I worried they wouldn't want to talk to him. Yeah. I worried they wouldn't want to talk to him, Chapter 5. I feared they wouldn't want anything to do with a human. I'm giving you my answer about why I spoke to the Ningyo. Asking for the Ayakashi's thoughts. Why do that all of a sudden? Huh? Sudden? Like, his question took me by surprise. Well, it's not like I'm ignoring your opinions all the time, am I? And that's not what I mean. It's that we don't have any authority to refuse in the end. That's not true. If you disapprove of something, then I implore you to tell us. I'm a grunt around here, so no promises, but Chief Tokiwa really cares about all of you, and I'm sure he'd listen to any requests you have. I know that's the kind of man Tokiwa is. Oh, I see. Why are you so quiet? Oh, sorry, I just can't put my finger on what's really worrying you. But I know you just told me. But maybe I'm sillier for not having figured out right away. Huh? Why I went to talk to them. Back when I fell ill and couldn't move, you told me that I couldn't try to do everything myself, right? That stayed with me for a long time, and I saw it was important to ask others for help. This is about a human, an outsider walking about Sakuratani. Not just myself or Chief Tokiwa, but even with the Ayakashimori, it's not enough. Well, saying that might make it seem like we can't do our jobs, but believe me when I tell you, I updated the Ningyo for their sake. Keeping them informed means making it easier for us to protect them. They should be aware too. Also, again, they're not zoo animals! Just here for, oh, we bought tickets and we're showing them off. Like, I see. I feel like you're different from when we first met. You don't run around headless anymore. Not that I'm complaining. Thank you. Thanks to you, things are much easier. Thinking of how everyone can help me and we can all protect Sakuratani together. It's strange. It's like I bridged the gap when I started asking for their help directly instead of fretting about it. I think that way about you too, Hira, but would you say you agree? I don't know. Like a long pause. Maybe. That was a pretty long pause. And I don't know. That was vague, even for Hira. But something tells me Hira's happy. He's not smiling. But then again, he doesn't really do that much. It could be my imagination or me seeing things, but that's how it seemed to me. We Ayakashimori watch out for the Ayakashi, and at times do have to monitor them. But I don't think that's all we have to be to them. I feel like Tamamo and Kinka are true friends that I've made in Sakuratani. Seimi and Akuro seem like good friends. Oh, and Yakumo and Kinka get along too. Huh. I wanted to mention that I wanted us to be friends too, but the thought embarrassed me so much that I quickly shifted the conversation entirely. Humans and Ayakashi can come together. I've read before old records that mention it. Old legends tell of a half-human, half-Ayakashi. It implies that half Ayakashi exists, so it'd be cool if Yakumo and Kinka ended up that way. And so what I want to say is, it's possible for humans and Ayakashi to come together. So maybe we could be friends. Oh, I went right back to it. She's like, I wanted to say I want us to be friends, but then I didn't want to say that I wanted us to be friends, so I thought I'd circle around it, and then I accidentally came back to I want us to be friends after implying that humans and Ayakashis could just jump each other's bones, and then we should be friends. And he's like, well, you were talking about, like, breeding, and now I just, like... Preposterous. Ayakashi and humans are different. Coming together to make a family is impossible. Huh? Hira's indignance was not at our friendship, but to the proposal of our kinds blending together. Oh. Well, that puts... You're like, oh! That hurts! You hit me where it hurt again! In my heart, which I didn't know we had. I mean, obviously we know that we're gonna have a heart, but, well, you know what I mean. Well, she's like, it hurts and I don't know why. Was he stuck on the bit about the half Ayakashi? Maybe not, but if there's written record of it, I'm not sure it's so impossible. Besides, plenty of Ayakashi and humans have become friends, so I don't think it's out of this world to suggest they could become couples too. I already did it with Shiratsuki, so that was pretty easy. But would Hira ever feel the same? Considering his tone, I had my doubts. I mean, I think it wasn't really, because, like, Hira seems a little difficult to deal with. Shiratsuki just masked his difficultness. He was like, oh, I'm just gonna put on a smile. I'm having a great time. I don't fucking trust you. Like, you know? And then he was like, oh, you won me over. Like, he was jovial and friendly, but, like, deep inside he was like, I don't trust you, human. You know, so, anyway. I wanted to press him further for an answer, but I knew it could be foolish. A possibility. Is there any... Oh, is there an Ayakashi with whom you're expecting to be lovers with then? What? Though I wouldn't think so. I'm sure you're thinking about work even on your days off. I was shocked, watching Hira smirk as he cast his sly, teasing question in my direction. That may be true. Oh, wait, never mind me. I'm not talking about that. What do you mean that's not what you're talking about? I don't understand. I mean, I'm not struggling to find someone as a partner, but if anyone else wants to do so, of course they can. My work is more important now, so I'm bummed you'd mock me for something like that, Hira. Besides, true partnership takes time and, most importantly, communication for setting boundaries and expectations. That's no small feat, right? I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure either. How do we end up talking about this? I had a feeling I began talking to Hira because I wanted to tell him something, but we got off topic, which made me draw a blank. Anyway, I don't feel like Ayakashi and humans can't come together. I hope Kinka and Yakumo find happiness together too. And can they really, though? Ayakashi and humans are so different. Humans die so quickly. Well, if you focus all day on differences or our lifespans, then I'm sure you can think of many reasons why they wouldn't work out. But Ayakashi and humans are more similar than you think. Even humans have to deal with mismatched personalities or unrequited love. Unrequited love? What is... That's not true! We always get our boyfriend in the end unless we do the bad ending or they're the side character. Okay. That's the unrequited love in Otome games. Chief Tokiwa, I love you, but I can't have you. In my dreams. Honestly, it's because he's voiced by Jun Fukuyama. Otherwise, I'd be like, yeah, he's a great character and he's cute. Why can't we date him? Whatever, it'd be fine. I wouldn't pine as much, is what I'm saying. You know. But Takao, I might pine for him a little bit. I don't know. He's really pretty. I haven't heard that in a while. Huh? It's nothing. I'm just thinking of how there was another weird Ayakashimori before you. Weird? Wait, is it possible that you see all humans as weird, Hira? No. Some humans are so straightforward that watching them became a chore. So, if his true feelings about me were that I'm weird, does that mean I didn't bore him? As a Shire, Chapter 5. All this talking's tired me out. Anyway, about the inspector, I hear you. We're good now. With that, Hira spread his wings open and flew off. I hoped we could do my rounds together around Amatsuna since he came all the way out here. Oh well, at least we got to talk for a while. I recalled Hira's stern pout when he expressed concern about the Ningyo. I know it isn't true when he says he's not as good at taking care of others as Takao is. Sure, compared to Takao, he doesn't work much, and he moves just as much as a rock does. But I feel like I finally understood why Hira was chosen as Amatsuna's Shire. Aww. Looking back on the day, Chapter 5. Phew! I returned to the dorms and collapsed on the bed. I'm glad I got Hira and the Ningyo's permission. Now all that's left is to make sure nothing dangerous happens on the day of the event. And I hope nothing problematic happens either. I'm sure Hira wouldn't like that. Oh, and I have to make sure the event itself succeeds. With so much on my mind, I rolled over to my side when... The dizziness faded in and out, returning for a brief period before disappearing again. Ugh, right. I've been so busy I hadn't been back to the real world for a while. It'd be problematic if I got sick because of this. I should go back home on my break tomorrow. While making my plans, I began to get ready for a bath to let my body relax as soon as I could. To the real world! The next day, during my break, I wonder what I should eat. It's been a while since I'd eaten out outside of Sakuratani. As I was thinking and walking down the hallway... Spacey, you have a minute? No? I mean, anything for you. Anything for you, Etsuya. Call me Chief. Damn it. Just kidding. Called out by Chief Tokiwa, my relaxation suddenly leaves me and my entire body tensed up. Do you need something? Do you need something? Wink. Don't talk to bosses like that. Swear to God, don't ever. Like, it's okay in this game. Sorry to bother you so suddenly again. Admin Manager Kaneda's son, who you'll be escorting, has asked for the day's itinerary. I got an order to bring over the one who'll be in charge, but can I ask you to go back to the real world for a moment? The real world? Oh, that's good timing then. I was just thinking of having my lunch in the real world during my break today. I see. Then after escorting the admin manager's son, you should take your break in the real world. Sorry to keep pushing these things on you. Oh, and here's a dossier on the admin manager's son. No need to be thorough, but can you look through it? His name and photo are in there too. Thank you. I'll take a look. He's already waiting outside the... Kokuromon. Kokuromon? Yeah, Kokuromon. He's already waiting outside the Kokuromon. Someone from the special agency in the real world is with him, so you don't need to rush. And when you return, just in case, could you please tell me what kind of impression you got from him? Yes, understood. I take the documents and leave Chief Tokiwa. If he's already in Jingu, I feel I should hurry over there, though. To be honest, I was a bit on alert, considering it was Admin Manager Kaneda's son I'd be facing. I'm sure that's why Chief Tokiwa needs me to report just what kind of man he is. He's a student. Oh, he really is studying art. Looking over the documents, I hurry on to the Kokuromon. As I go through the gate as usual that connects Sakuratani back to the real world. Whoa! So are you one of those Ayakashimori? A young man who had a similar aura to Admin Manager Kaneda greets me. Waiting beside him was who seemed to be the staff member from the real world mentioned by Chief Tokiwa, but they were unresponsive to my greetings. Maybe it's because I'm younger? Though I was a bit surprised, Admin Manager Kaneda's son, Kaneda, according to the documents, addressed me amicably. I like Admin Manager Kaneda's son, Kaneda. Really? Huh? Mr. Smith's son is named Smith? Like, Tom's, like, game, come on. I know in Japanese you call people by their last name, but it's just so funny the way it's phrased. You're like, that. And nice to meet you. Sorry for calling you out here so suddenly, but I just had to hear more before going to Sakuratani. It's a world where Ayakashi live, right? It's a world completely different from ours. I just don't want to scare them, you know? I feel like he sounds like Yakumo. Maybe we should, like, make him, like, whatever. I don't know. I don't want to scare them, you know? I'm artsy. Oh my god, I don't know. The moment he spoke, I felt relieved to see he was mindful of the Ayakashi, unlike his father who looked down on Ayakashimori and Ayakashi. Thank you. I think they'll be at ease if you keep that in mind as you go about your visit. That's good to hear. I haven't introduced myself. My name's Kaneda. Nice to meet you. You too, Kaneda. My name's Spacey. I'll be introducing you to the Ningyo and other Ayakashi on the day of the event. Introducing them? Isn't it the other way around? Of course, I'll explain more about the Ayakashi, but we'll need to be sure to introduce you to them, and then you'll be able to talk with... Oh, I see! Thank you for thinking this whole thing through, but I'm not interested in anything other than Ningyo. I see, you have a particular affinity for Ningyo, don't you? Okay, I'm sorry, but, like, if you all of a sudden you're a parent or somebody was like, so, like, you, like... There's a magical world where all sorts of mythological creatures exist. Ayakashi, freaking whatever, unicorns, like whatever it is, okay? And they were like, this exists, you want to go check it out? You wouldn't be like, I just want to look at the unicorns. You'd be like, fuck yeah, I want to look at the unicorns, but like, fucking show me everything. We have griffins and phoenix. Nah, fuck that shit, just the unicorn. You'd be like, nah, I want to see everything. Like, listen. You don't go to the zoo and only stare at the monkeys. You check out everything, bitch. Like, I know I just said that they're not animals in the zoo, but if this guy's gonna treat them like they're fucking animals in the zoo, you see the whole fucking zoo, okay? You're paying the ticket price. See everything. You don't go to Disney and only go on Space Mountain. You go on every ride and you go on Space Mountain, definitely, but you don't only go there. I bought the ticket to Disney and I just went on Space Mountain, like twice, that's it. I mean, that's probably all you have time for, like, but after waiting in line for 3 days, but you know what I mean? Come on. I see, okay, we already read that, yeah. Yeah, as a kid I became obsessed with a film on the Ningyo. I always told myself that I'd see one myself someday. Thank goodness for Dad's work. I was like, this is totally fate, right? But I sure was surprised that this sort of job existed. Yeah, okay, he's getting more. We're funny. Right, yes. Is it really okay for us to reveal all of the special agency to this person? He regarded things so carelessly. I was honestly a bit worried that he might spread word about it to people around him, and he'd just sound crazy. Could you imagine? Okay, again. You're like, haha, unicorns. And then someone's like, oh my god, no, seriously? My dad works for the secret government agency and they have unicorns. I'm telling you, unicorns are real. You'd be like, okay, crazy pants. This is why you have no real friends. You wouldn't believe that motherfucker. deep down in your heart, you're like, I want to believe the unicorns are real, but like, that's the best I could come up with. But you'd be like, this guy's an idiot. Like, come on. Seriously? Anyway. Oh, but I guess people just think they've gone crazy if they talked. Yeah, exactly. For the purpose of suppressing leaks, they showed a video explaining the rules of the special agency. A video they required us to watch twice. You seem young. How long have you been in Ayakashimori? Compared to some of my superiors, I've still got much to learn. However, I'm doing my best. I was a bit hesitant to tell him I was new, so I deflected the question. Right. Hey, I wanted to ask one of you. How does it feel to have Ayakashi under your control? Do they ever rebel? What? Our role isn't to control the Ayakashi. We help them live peacefully together, just like how city officials and police do in the human world. Seriously? But they're just Ayakashi, right? Don't they have outbursts? I heard that's why you use spells to force them to keep quiet. Well, we do use spells at times, but it's the same in the real world. I have no idea what you're talking about. What do you mean? Just like there are all sorts of people, Ayakashi come in all shapes and colors and personalities. Okay, thanks a lot, Norton. Don't pop up while I'm doing shit. Fuck off. Go away, Norton. God, you're fucking irritating. Anyway. Also, even members from the same group might think or feel differently, or act or drink or get mad if something unforgivable happened. Huh. You sure are a strange one. To actually see Ayakashi and humans as equals? You're a very kind person, aren't you? A kind person, huh? I feel like all I'm doing is talking about what I think is obvious. Everyone should want equality, but nothing I said got through to him. I guess it doesn't matter. He wouldn't know how Sakuratani came to be or why it's there if he'd never met an Ayakashi before. Like, this guy sounds like a tool. Humans will come after the Ningyo. I'm a Shire. I can't just let this happen. Alright, I'll leave it to you. But just don't let your guard down that day. Yeah. Just as I was about to give up, Hira's words play back in my head. No, I can't let myself think that there's nothing that can be done. Well, thank you very much. By the way, Kaneda, you came to check the itinerary for the day of the event, correct? Oh, right. Just the gist of it's fine, so... Oh, no. As we go over the plan, I'll explain all sorts of things so both Ayakashi and humans can safely enjoy your visit to Sakuratani. I subtly deflect Kaneda's request, show him the documents, and begin my briefing. I can't explain the details of Sakuratani's history or how it came to be to this person. But if I keep talking to him without giving up, he might understand that Ayakashi aren't beings to be controlled or silenced. I feel like he thinks that way about women too, so I'm just saying. I couldn't possibly let someone in his state of mind meet the Ayakashi. With that in mind, careful not to let my cheery face I put on slip as best as possible, I continued my very dense explanation. Let me show you what this is. So if you do anything wrong, I'll fucking kill you. If you look at them wrong, I'll kill you. I'm just kidding. Anyway. We're going to stop here because we're just about out of time. So anyway, yeah. This is going to be interesting seeing this twat waffle off in here. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.